Much of America's story is told through its buildings, from colonial homes to futuristic skyscrapers. The evolution of architecture reflects the nation's growth, its challenges, and its aspirations. Today, we're diving into the history of American architecture and how it has shaped and been shaped by the country's identity. The earliest American architecture was rooted in necessity and tradition. Settlers from Europe brought their knowledge of building techniques with them, adapting to local climates and materials. In the New England colonies, houses were simple, with steep roofs to shed snow and central chimneys to provide warmth. These were the colonial homes that we still recognize today. In the South and Southwest, Spanish influence led to the rise of mission-style architecture. Think of the Spanish missions in California, like Mission San Diego de Alcala, with their smooth stucco walls and rounded arches. Meanwhile, in Dutch areas like New York and New Jersey, we saw the rise of Dutch colonial houses, with their distinctive gambrel roofs, which allowed for larger upper levels. Early American architecture was all about survival, no frills, just function. But even then, you could see the beginnings of something that is distinctly and uniquely American. As the U.S. began to establish itself as an independent nation, its architecture followed suit. Inspired by ancient Greece and Rome, neoclassical designs took hold with the intent to reflect democratic ideals. Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's masterpiece, is a perfect example of this. Its columns, domes, and symmetry all pointing to the classical world. Similarly, public buildings like the U.S. Capitol and the White House were designed to project strength, order, and grandeur within the new republic. The federal style, which dominated homes during the period, embraced elegance and proportion, with buildings like Boston's Otis House showcasing refined and restrained aesthetics. The architecture of the early republic wasn't just buildings, it was statements. Every column and every dome said, "We're here to stay." Jumping forward to the late 19th century, the Gilded Age was a time of wealth, industrialization, and extravagance. This was the era when the U.S. embraced opulence, and nowhere was that clearer than in its architecture. The wealthy elites built mansions like the Biltmore Estates, a sprawling, castle-like home in North Carolina that epitomized excess. At the same time, cities were expanding vertically. The birth of the skyscraper forever changed the American skyline. The Flatiron Building in New York, built in 1902, was one of the first buildings to combine steel frame construction with modern architectural design, leading the charge toward a new urban form like no one had before. In the Gilded Age, architecture wasn't just about function, it was about showing off. Bigger, taller, and more lavish was the name of the game. As the 20th century came, it brought with it radical shifts in architectural design. With the rise of modernism came a rejection of ornamentation. Architects like Frank Lloyd Wright and Ludwig Miles van der Rohe introduced clear, clean lines, open spaces, and functional simplicity. Wright's falling water became a symbol of integrating architecture into the natural landscape, while buildings like the Seagram Building in New York represented the sleek, minimalist ethos of modernism. But as the century went on, then came something different: brutalism, an architectural style characterized by raw concrete and blocky fortress-like structures. Brutalist buildings like Boston City Hall or the Yale Art and Architecture Building were often divisive. Some saw them as bold statements, while others found them cold and uninviting. Modernism and brutalism stripped architecture down to its essentials, but in doing so, they redefined the way we interact with the spaces around us. Lately, with growing concerns about the environment and sustainability, the architectural world has embraced green design. Buildings today are not only designed to be visually appealing, but also to minimize their environmental impact. The California Academy of Sciences, with its living roof, is a perfect example of a structure that blends seamlessly with its surroundings while prioritizing energy efficiency. The shift towards sustainable architecture isn't just about the environment, it's about the future. Many cities are embracing LEED-certified buildings that reduce waste and use renewable energy, and promote a healthier indoor environment. In today's world, Architecture isn't just about aesthetics anymore, it's about creating buildings that work in harmony with the planet. So, what's next for American architecture? The future is all about innovation and technology. Imagine smart cities where buildings are interconnected, responding to the needs of the environment and the people living in them. 3D printing will soon allow architects to create entire buildings in days rather than months, revolutionizing construction. Architects are also experimenting with new materials, from carbon fiber to transparent aluminum, something that was once thought to be Star Trek science fiction. That will make buildings stronger, lighter, and more sustainable. These technologies are paving the way for an exciting future where buildings may not only respond to our needs, but also change and evolve with us. The future of architecture lies in the intersection of technology and design, where buildings won't just stand still but grow, adapt, and live alongside us. From colonial colleges to futuristic cities, the story of American architecture is one of constant evolution. Every style, every building tells a story, not just of the people who built it, but the times in which it was built. As we move forward, architecture will continue to shape and be shaped by the world around us. Architecture is like the mirror of society, and as America changes, so too will the buildings that define it. I've been Drex Hawkins. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day, my friends. I may like the general style and overall designs, but I can also understand why brutalism never took off. Believe it or not, this is a hospital, not a prison. I just recorded the entire thing, and I didn't even have the mic going. It's going to be one of those days. All right, take it from the top. Good practice run. Oh, shit. I gotta stop the recording.